Bueno, os presento a Miguel Tarasco. Miguel y Andrés montaron una startup, son patrocinados.
Introduced Miguel Tarasco. Miguel created a startup which is a silver sponsoring Route.com. They all gave us stock every single year, and they have gotten one of the best scores. This talk is about the capture of Wi-Fi traffic until you see several problems going on. So now I will turn the floor over Miguel. Miguel, you have the floor.
Hola. Vale, se me oye. Bueno, pues yo lo que vengo...
Targeted attacks with Wi-Fi APTS. This is the result from all the jobs and works done over the past 2 years doing research oriented to wireless analysis on Windows. Why is it going like this? Because we do think that it's one of the stages or phases for Windows to be a competent and effective tool when auditing wireless networks. You can't see it, I'm sorry, on screen. What's going on here on screen?
Que la imagen se ha quedado cogida.
It's frozen on screen. Let's try to fix it.
Pero vosotros sí. Bueno, para entrar un poco en...
I can't see it, but you can see it. What's going on in wireless through all these operating systems? The state in Linux, we have from the very beginning, from inception, in Linux systems, in Linux environments, we have capture wireless monitor snapshots, because it's an open system in which you can see that the code and everybody can modify and create their own modules in such a way that any driver or program executable can be read totally. Their data can be totally read, and you can make a raw lecture or reading of all the packages. Formerly, with Windows, we have some half-patch drivers against half modules or chipsets and cards. In this way, we could do tricky things on Windows, which didn't allow to do the capture, and we can do the monetization this way. You may know the typical Mac Wi-Fi, which were the most used at the time, but since the inclusion of Windows Vista 7 and 8, Microsoft included what is called drivers in edit. What is this? It's a system through which you can be in one of the stages or phases of the transmission of data, and you can read them. I will go over it now. And apart from this inclusion from Microsoft, we also had proprietary tools from different manufacturers which allow you to do this in different ways and with a different range of success, but they were closed tools, and you have to buy these tools from the manufacturers, and you can only act within a limited number of actions. Other options is through a specific hardware for this purpose. We're talking about the cards, MP card. You can do a captures which allows you to read the packages, and this card encapsulates these packages and they spit it out through USB for the right application. This is a very summary explanation. The whole card do the whole capture of data and send it over to Windows, where we can read the data. Tools supporting this is can enable software such as L-Consort to crack passwords. There are many tools available in the market.
Pues básicamente, si tenemos una pila de platos, que serían las etapas
Imagine we have a pile of dishes, the stages from the data from the card are coming until they reach window. We can get the dishes up, we can put one of our dishes in between and slow down the sink, this pile of dishes, and in the meantime we can do a hook in the lower level between the layer of the car and the layer of the manufacturing. We can access all the data in between as they come. We read as they come. In NSMES, you can find much more information. What did we do? We benefited from this little known functionality included by Microsoft since Windows Vista to create a driver in Edit, which allows us to do so. What did we do? A driver in Edit in NDIS with an application called Acrylic Wi-Fi, through which we can capture on Windows in monitor mode, in promiscuous mode. We can read the raw packages and we can interact with them, and we can do whatever things we want to. The great advantages we are offering you guys is through Acrylic Wi-Fi. We are using NDIS driver, and extends an API for any user to software to program by using this API with a series of scripts and to interact with the application. We extend the functionality of this software, and anyone can program their modules as you go, and you can get functions that many developers cannot come up with. Lastly, as I commented before, the driver from Edis, I did it previously, we did it, and that's why we are giving you. We had published on our website the API for you to use this driver, since with the Mac Wi-Fi with proprietary drivers, you had to do tricks, you go to Rapid Share, download it. This is a real messy thing. We don't meddle with this. With us, with your available library, everyone can do their own application and capture anything on monitor mode on Windows. That's it, period.
Bueno, no me voy a entrar en detalles de programación, pero bueno, como veis, la API es bastante sencillita.
I won't go into details of programmation or software. We look for the list of devices. Let's see what is supported. We open it and we start captions. This is very simple for any developer or programmer. What is given to us by this library? There is a native support of capture on monitor mode on Windows. It's a great advantage. One of the great advantages is we're going to support any protocols, the new ones, the new Wi-Fi protocols in the market. It has been launched, a new protocol, the 802.11 AC. All the manufacturers are including it. Such cars as Epican didn't support them before, and they don't support it now. With NDIS driver, since it introduces an independent layer, we can do so. We can capture 802 with NDIS. As commented from Vista, Vista is the new theme, and many more interesting things on monitor mode on Wi-Fi. We also want to ride. I don't want my neighbor to connect to the Wi-Fi. So NDIS supports this. It's not very simple to perform it, to carry out, but we are sure we are going to achieve it. But as of today, we don't have it, but we are trying to work it out and to show you the solution, because we do think it's important. Now I have a demo prepared for all of you, but in the very end, I think we are on enough time, so I put this demo later on in the very end of my show. This is okay. We are doing Acrylic Wi-Fi with support with NDIS, but there are many more other tools now where we have Wireshark, Cairn and Abel supporting cars for cracking cars. Okay, we're going to still buy a specific hardware to use them. Okay, that's why we try to do some research on this. What happens? Firstly, we have the error dump from Linux, which is the most used all over the world, intended to be compiled on Windows. You check the code. It supports a facade, but patron, a pattern to include major things. You compile it and you do your mode with the some function matching the pattern you are given, and that's it. It's not this easy. By using it, we discovered that Earthywin has some specific features. If you compile an application in fwin, loading a library, and then you do a forward, it's logical for you to access the references in the library. So you thought our library was in Visual Study, and thanks to a feature from ENG Wins, when you do a forward, you lost the reference because the library wasn't configured with NDs. After fighting, we were able to fix it. Another problem we found is that error down if the version in Windows was compiled but didn't have modules, and it wasn't well tested. So the reading of data was through pipes, and they have given, or they left this reading for another purpose. So by fixing these problems, you can see the URL where you can find the patch applicable, and we have to send it over to the people, and with this the application will be functioning. You can take the application, you take the DLL, you call for the module to be loaded, and you have the Erdon working on monitor mode on Windows. That's it.
Como esto nos pareció bastante fácil, pues dijimos, bueno, vamos al...
What is the thing? This is so. Let's move on to next levels. Now let's integrate with Wireshark, which not thought for supporting and being added modules in an easy way, unless you take the code and you modify to make it a forward and keep it going on. So, since natively speaking it doesn't support Wi-Fi interfaces, let's create a virtual network interface with which we can encapsulate the data from the Wi-Fi, but it was such a mess. So if in the RPCAT it supports capture Wi-Fi, why don't we pretend to be an RPK and we capture in monitor mode? So after researching, we saw that the standard, the API for RPCAD is public. Everybody can see how RPCAD DLL is working. And we did as follows. We simulate to be an RPCAD. We give back the same methods understood by RPCAD, and it can interact with our AirCap, with our driver, and they can capture in monitor mode. If you take accurate Wi-Fi, it will install library simulating to be the AirCAD, and we can do capture in monitor mode in website without touching a single line. When running the system, we'll see the list of interfaces. We'll see acrylic kinetic and interface with the real name of the interface, and you can see the Wireshark functioning without touching one single line, and we can say mission accomplished. We won this race.
Como nos iba tan bien, pues dijimos, bueno, ¿por qué no lo vamos a intentar ahora?
We had such a success. Oh, let's move on to the next level and try to this experiment with Cayenne and Nova, because it's not that this complicated. We got it with Wireshark, so let's try it with Cayenne and Nova. Let's see what happens. We tested, but we saw that Cayenne wasn't able to detect the interfaces. We're telling them, okay, this is AirPCAD, but Cayenne didn't recognize it with call control, and we weren't able to do so. What happened? Why? We discovered that Cayenne, to detect if interfaces were AirKit, it matched the initial thing. So we we do some patches, and to start as AirCAD, and from that moment we have our native interface from Windows capturing and monitor more, and we once again can say we won this fight.
Bueno, hemos llegado hasta aquí, como ya os comentaba, a futuro lo que queremos.
Through. Now, what's the future? We want to aggregate more compatibility with more cards. In the very end, this depends on how the manufacturer develop the drivers for their cards. It should be a standard for all of the cars, but the reality is quite different. So we're working for them to support the most number of them as well. So regarding injection of traffic is a very important subject, and we are putting all our efforts on it, and which we expect in a very few time to inject these packages. We are testing two versions. Testants you can audit in an active and passive way without the network, and you can inject packages and interact with the different devices, and you can do things that with one single passive version is impossible. Lastly, I want to thank the Rooted organization for the marvelous job, for all the participants for their jobs. Thank you for all the scripts you send it over, and thank you Angel, Vidal, and Jaime for get involved in developing this tool and this product. Without your support, this presentation and my product wouldn't be impossible. So this is createwifi.com. Everybody can open this website and download this free software. It has a feedback window for you to make your comments. If you find any bugs, failures, we are kindly to admit and accept that kind of suggestions. On behalf of the developers, thank you. I have 2 extra minutes. I will show the demo on screen. Let's cross fingers. Let's see if I get it. I got it here. This is my demo. There we go. This is our tool. Now it's signed. It requires permissions from the administrator. You can access the driver with permissions from the administrator. It would be nasty otherwise. And this is it. We are unrooted, special version from the rooted. Why not? And the Windows followers like accepting the license. Next. Next, and this is it is automatically installed. Next time you run the computer, it works properly. On this step, the driver is installed and set up, and you can run this tool. Period. It has a number of modules. So I'm uploading and loading some specific modules. Predictable passwords. You can differently networks. You can send us new scripts for us to include them. We are happy to include them. And sometimes it's difficult for this to run, but believe me, it will run. These scripts are to take the PIN from certain networks, since I don't have connectivity here. And there you go. This is packages visor for you to capture the data. We can see interface here. We have these. We checklist this interface, and we should start with a start, and we'll save all the networks. It's a PT. We can see it. We can see now the networks, and with the mouse, they are telling us the clients connect. We are capturing on monitored mode. Not any other Windows program can do so, because it's based upon analysis of Wi-Fi traffic. So we have some funny names for our networks, level of the signaling. Interesting things commented by Raul last year. Networks where you try to connect it through roaming. Devices try to get connected to other devices. If you have time, you can see as many devices as possible and how they are connected to the respective networks. And sometimes we had a fun time. Now we have, this is the main vision, the stations, all the max from all possible devices here, present here. and whether they are send data, they have the receipt data, destination, origin, no matter what they are. Any Wi-Fi device is now shown on screen through these devices. We have the typical charts, and through the packages visor, you can start capturing data with different types, and in the style of Wireshark, we can see all their attributes. We can dive in into them. We can put some filters on. Other things you can do with the other tool is now down oriented to wireless networks. It supports inventory. Since we are interested in knowing what is our computer at home connected, if it's connected on the wireless Wi-Fi, we can assign or give names to these devices. You can say, add it onto the inventory. Ready? It's ready. From now on, it turns up with this name. When we turn on the computer at home, we see a Mac connected to our router, because it may be like this. I could go on and on for hours and hours explaining things, but I will turn the floor to the next speaker. Thank you very much for your attention, and I hope you like it. Thank you all.
Bueno, si alguien tiene alguna pregunta, aprovecho. Que era la segunda parte.
Should you have any questions, please raise your hands. If we do the same with RCheck, which is recently installed, we don't have any problems for us to capture on monitor mode. We run it on administrator mode, otherwise it wouldn't be able to do so, because driver wouldn't allow us to run it because we don't have the permissions. Wireshark is now open, but I got it wrong on my file, no, on my folder. Just a question. You commented on the functions from Windows for us to perform or put the layer capturing the traffic. Are the MBS filters? Am I correct? And I don't know if they're called MBS filters, but perhaps it's a device filter documented. You can go to the MDCs and find all the documentation, and you'll see there's one single person on the internet who has programmed this way and published this, but documentation is available on NDCs. That was my question. Thank you very much. And one of these, there we go. One of these then is acrylic. We started and we received the Wireshark capturing on monitor mode with the bypass we did. That's it. Thank you now all for your attending and attention.